Jay, we can start.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll share my screen now. Okay, fine. So we are in the last day, day 7. So we want to start and see with the name manager, UDF creations, and Powerpivot and data modeling. And then finally, we are going to discuss about VBA macros and then about automation, what it is. Okay, so first we'll see what is name manager. And so the name manager is available under a formula tab here. Okay, if you see here under formula, you can find defining a names by your own. Okay, so this helps us to create some functions with our own name based on the name range what you can give it. So in the earlier session, we have seen about Excel name range and tables. So if I have some random values, I can keep the name for that ranges, and I can use that range in any function in Microsoft Excel by creating a name range. We are doing it. Okay, for example, I'll go for a random amount now. So it starts from 1000 to 5000. So I have a certain values here. So these values are now converted into a range with the help of name range option by using a manager, name manager. We are doing it. Okay, so now I'll make with name manager, which I'm going to create a new first for this particular range now. Okay, so when I click new button, it asks you the name of the function. That is, what is the range to be added with the name here. By default, it comes with the amount here. If you want, you can change it. What are the value what you required it. Okay, I'm going to make here with sales, and the scope of this is workbook, entire workbook to be worked, or you can go and work only with sheet number 1. Okay, so that is need to be selected, and any comments if it is required, you can add the comment also. And it refers the sheet number 1 to D4 to D17. By default, it takes, and I want to click OK now. So which means one new manager, name manager, with the help of name manager, we have created a range here, name range here, and this will be applied in any function in Excel. Okay, you can use with some along with some function or VLOOKUP function. So whatever you require, we can easily use the sales in across the sheets. That is the advantage of using name managers. Okay, so we can work it on like a data set, kind of already a predefined ranges are there with a name. From that we can use it. And about the UDF, as I said earlier, this is we are going to create our own formula. Right now, what we have created in the name managers, we have created a data set here. This is a sales is a data set, some range, a predefined range with the name that we are going it. We are setting it. But here, what I can do, I can apply a new formula itself equal to sales, something like that. I can apply it. Okay, which is like same kind of a VLOOKUP function, something like that. We can easily add it. The new formula can be added with the help of UDF functions. Okay, so I'll tell you how to create this one. This UDF means user defined function. User defined function where we are creating some custom formulas, custom functions with the help of VBA. Okay, VBA, and we want to use this VBA can be saved, and it can be saved as a Excel add-in file. That is .xla function, .xla file. Okay, so it can be saved like .xla file and share it to anyone. Okay, so this is what a custom formula can be, function can be created with the help of VBA programming. So that we are going to see about this automation part. I'll going to show you how to create these UDF creations and all. And now first we'll go with Powerpivot and Power Data Modeling. These two things which is very important that I can show you how we are going to use this one. Okay, Powerpivot and then data modeling. Data modeling. Okay, so now the Powerpivot is an additional tool, Excel add-in file. Okay, this comes under a COM add-in. Okay, additional add-in to be installed in our system to get a new tab called Powerpivot. Okay, so in case if you just check this in your system, the power pivot is available or not. In case if it is not available, then you want to activate it. Okay, you want to activate it by through a COM add-ins. Okay, first I'll help you how to activate this one, and then we can see what is Power Pivot, how we can use this one, and about the data modeling. Okay, do right click on any ribbon here. Okay, go for customize the ribbon. Under Excel settings add-ins button, you want to select Excel add-ins here. You want to select this with COM add-in and click go here. You can see now Power Map, Power Pivot, Team Foundation add-in. So both, all three which I have checked it here, I'm using it here, Power Map as well. Okay, so this one you want to enable it, this Microsoft Power Pivot for Excel, you want to enable by using this check button. Okay, so check button and click OK so that it get enabled. You will be getting a new tab in the ribbon button. Okay, unless you won't get it. So you want to manually activate it. Okay, so I'll be going again, do right click, go for customize ribbon, and in the customized ribbon, you want to go for Excel add-in. Okay, Excel add-in, and then again the Excel add-in will be changed into a COM add-ins. Click on the COM add-ins, you can get the Power Pivot for Excel and Power Map and Team Found add-ins. Okay, so you want to enable this one and then click OK. So you'll be getting a Power Pivot. Okay, now Power Pivot, what it is? In Excel, we have Power Query. Power Query, we have seen that. And now we are into Power Pivot. So Power Query is like a transformation engine. As I said earlier, transforming data. With the help of Power Query, we are doing transforming a data with the help of Power Query. Okay, so here we applied a small calculation fields. We applied small DAX functions and all. As same like, okay, we can use a Power Pivot for data modeling purposes. Okay, only for data modeling purpose we are using it. So data modeling in a sense, like you can see already we have an add to data model option is there, and also you can manage this option will be there. So two windows will be there. So this is for Power Query window. Power Query window is available under data tab. Under data tab, you want to go for launch a Power Query option here. Okay, and the Power Pivot also as a separate window. You can use this window to upload some data. Okay, that I'll tell you how to upload it and what are the options we can do it. And along with that, we can do some measures, calculations, and then KPIs. Okay, which is like showing some data into a performance indicator with creating a new icons over there. Okay, same like a conditional formatting, we can icon. And then relationship, which means we have multiple data table, multiple datas are there, tables are there. You can go and make connections with multiple table and bring some informations. With the help of any one primary key is more important for that. Okay, and then add a data model means in case if you have any Excel table, then you can add those things into a table very easily. Okay, now I'll show a practical thing about what is Power Pivot, which is very important, and then I'll go with showing some examples. First, in the Power Pivot, I have three files here. Three Excel files are there. One is related to customer detail. Okay, if I open this, it consists of only the customer information. Okay, only the customer information. Customer ID, name, what is the state, country, and then city, and then postal code. Okay, this is related to only the customer table. For example, this can be maintained by a customer master data team separately. They are creating a customers. Okay, and then second, we have an order sheet in which if you go here, the order sheet consists of the primary key, that is the customer ID, which is most important. Any one key must available in all the one. Okay, at least one. Why? Because you want to make connections with my customer table, with my order table, with the help of this customer ID only. Okay, if you don't have such thing, then you cannot create any data modeling, any relationship between the tables. So the primary key is most important. Okay, and then customer ID with order ID, product ID, quantity, and then order date. Okay, so what is the product that he has bought, and product ID what it is, and then what is the quantity and the order when he has placed. All those things are available in order sheet. Okay, and then next, third one, what product that he has bought. Okay, so this is about a product name, product ID, and what is the price of the product, and what is the profit we have attained for that. So this is another table which is called a product table. So totally, if you see these three files here, what happened? First thing which I have with customer detail, in which I have 7 columns. Now second is order ID, in which I have 5 columns. Okay, and then we have a product table, in which we have 5 more columns. So totally we have almost 17 columns are there. Okay, 17 columns are there. If I want to make a pivot table, what usually I do? I want to combine. I want to do a data consolidation here. Just imagine, since I have a very less number of data, very less number of columns, I can easily consolidate it. Okay, with the help of VLOOKUP, I can do it. For example, why I'm doing VLOOKUP? Because customer ID is common in both the table, in this 2 table. And then again, product ID. Product ID is available in order table and product table. Okay, product table. So I can use with the help of these 2 primary keys. I want to combine all the columns. I want to combine all the columns as 17 column in one single report. If I want to do that, I want to merge all the 3 data into a single report with only 1 data. And then after that, I can do anything I require. But now with the help of Powerpivot, we don't want to merge. We don't want to consolidate because we have 1 primary key here. So we are going to create a relationships. Okay, data modeling with relationship, automatically detect and create relationship between tables used on the selected pivot table. Okay, which means automatically it will go and select what are the common column, primary columns are there in both the sites, in both the tables. You can easily make connections with that. From that, we can apply 1 pivot table, and you can easily get the pivot table to be interacted with multiple tables over there. Okay, and that I'll show you how to use those things. Now, instead of combining all these things with the help of VLOOKUP, I'm going to load all the file into a Powerpivot window so that it is easy to make a connections. Okay, to make a relationships in the easiest way. Okay, so first 3 files are there. I want to load this 3 file to my Powerpivot window. How does it look? When I click this manage button, you can see it start getting opened. Now you can see this is a Powerpivot window. Okay, Powerpivot window for Excel, and it shows with day 7 NESE IT. Okay, now same like a Power Query, we have a blank page here with 3 different tabs are there. Okay, which is first tab consists of from my database I can get it, either from my SQL I can upload the data, or from MS Access, okay, or from analysis services. Okay, from online also we can get it out, or from other data services, whatever I require I can get it here. And here the problem is we have all the things are in Excel file. Okay, 3 Excel files are there. So I want to load Excel file. Here you can see nothing is there in terms of Excel. So how to connect? Then go for other source option. From other source, we have so many options are there. Either from SQL Server, SQL Azure, or Terra database. We have Oracle here, Sybase here. Okay, there are so many databases are already there, in which if you come down, you can find a text file or Excel file which is there. This is what you want to use to make the connections. Now I go for the Excel file and click next here. Okay, so go for other sources. From other sources, from that you want to go with Excel file and click next here. Click next. Now the friendly name come automatically Excel, and only thing you want to select a file. And here you cannot select multiple files at a time. So you want to browse one by one. So I'll go for a browse with the folders here. Okay, so the Powerpivot window folder, and I'll go and select first with a customer detail. Okay, I'll go with customer detail. Okay, and then click open now. Click open now. The first customer detail table is opened, and it has a user, the first row as an header, column header, because my table has an header. So I'm just going to tick on the header part, and I'm going to click next now. Okay, click next now. And you can see the 2 sheets are there in the table. In that first sheet, number 1 has my data. In case if you want, you can go for preview and filter option, which will help you to show all your data are correct. Okay, so I'll just load it and then I'll open the Excel sheet and I'll show you what informations are there. Okay, now this is a table which comes related to customer information. About the customer details are there. I'll click OK and I'm going to finish it now. So now you can see success, 25 rows are transferred into my data model, as a first sheet. When I close here, now you can see the 25 model of a first table, which comes automatically here. Okay, so now the sheet number 1, I can extend this area. This area is for to write a code, to write a measures here. Okay, that I'll tell you how to write a measures. Okay, now you can see this 25 numbers are there. And then next, I'm going to add one more data. Okay, one more data. My second table. I'll go for from other source. I'll go for Excel and next one. And then I'm going to pick a product table, order sheet now, order sheet. And I'm using this first row as a header column. And then I'm going with next. Again, that sheet number 1. And I can preview the informations. This is correct. And then I'm going with the next finish option. Okay, now see the second one, successfully 25 rows are there. Again, it is loaded. Now it comes default with sheet number 11. So you can change your names here accordingly if you require, same like Excel sheet. First one, double click on the sheet number 1. This is customer details. So I'll just go and change customer _ details. And then second one, again, double click here. You can change that with order name, order _ details. Okay, now third one, which I'm going to load. Okay, so product table is there. So how to upload this product table? For example, this is one way of uploading it. Okay, in case if you want not to upload, I can do an upload from directly to Excel, from Excel to my Powerpivot. Then you can open the file and you can do it. Okay, now just go for a product detail. There's a product detail. So the product detail consists of only 5 columns. Only 5 columns. Now I want to load this information. 24 rows are there with product ID, product name, and then price and profit. So I want to load this one now. First, I want to create this as a table. I'm going to create this as a table, and I want to insert this table into my Powerpivot window. So this is one way. If you go for manage window, then the Powerpivot window will be available. You want to load from other source option. Okay, or else if you have data, directly go to add a model here. Just click add to model option here. Now click on the add to model. Now you can see the table 1 has been loaded here by default. This table 1 name, which is called as product _ detail. Okay, now simple thing, 3 files are there. I've loaded all the 3 files into my Powerpivot window. Okay, so any doubt as of now about uploading a data into your Powerpivot window? So 3 files are there. So just go and select the folder and then you can upload it through a Powerpivot window. And next, what do you want to do? You want to go for data view and the diagrammatic view. First, it is as preferred in the formatting. If you want any formatting, then you can use with formatting. And same like Excel, you can do sort and filters. And then you can do some auto sum options. Okay, calculations will be there. As same like Excel, we have the same buttons. If you want to perform something, you can do it, performing some options here. Okay, or the view will be there, which is a different view, data view, which is shows in this way. And then you want to make a diagrammatic view. Okay, why diagrammatic views is important? You want to make a data modeling out there. Okay, data relationship to be maintained with multiple tables. Right now, I have 3 tables here. One is customer detail, and then order detail, and then product detail. So 3 tables are there. First, I'll go for a diagram view here. When I click diagram view, it's look like a relationship query in this way. Okay, this is a diagrammatic data modeling view. So now I have a 3 table. One is customer detail table, an order detail, and then product detail. Each has a different fields are there, columns are there. Now I want to make a link. I want to make a data creations. Okay, data relationships to be maintained. How to maintain a relationship? Very simple. This is same in Power Query, in Power Pivot, in Power BI. Very simple. Just drag and drop it. For example, this is my customer ID. The same customer ID is available in my order detail also. Okay. So what I want to do, I'll just do a left mouse click button. I'll just dragging it. Okay, dragging it, and I'm going to connect that with my customer ID. If I do that, now we can see it shows with my *21. What does it mean? This is called a many to one relationship. Okay, this is a separate topic in Power BI, which comes here. Okay, like relationship creating with data model, which means this data table has a many relationship. Okay, many relationship in this table. Okay, which means like the customer detail has a multiple names. Okay, it go and joins with multiple times. One customer has different products, different orders are there. That is why many to one relationship has been bought automatically. Okay, that I'll tell you. Don't want to confuse on this part. Okay, now next, what are the possible way of doing make connections in this table? Other than this customer ID, you don't have such information, any other information to be matched between these two tables. So I can't do anything. For example, I don't have region, I don't have state, nothing will be there. Only one part, customer ID to be linked. So that I have done it now. Okay, and next is like you can just do another table. Just check on another table now. So if you go for another table, we have only the product ID to be matched. So product ID, only that we have it. We don't have any other thing. So I'll just go again to make a connection with my product detail. Again, same, the connections has been done. Okay, now the simple thing, what it happens, it will be easily, you can make a connections. You can make a connection between multiple tables like this. Okay, if you have one more table about a city ID, which means city to city, you can connect it. So now 3 different connections we have done. We have made a connections between the tables. Okay, between the tables. The connection is ready now. Okay, so this is what the data modeling. You want to make sure, see the table first, and what are the possible way of making connections. In Power BI, these connections, we don't want to do it. That will come automatically. Okay, which means the automated way of identifying the tables with the data tables with the name, and also with multiple table, it can be easily identified. Okay, in Excel, there is no automated way of identifying. You want to manually go and make connections in this one. Okay, so next I'll go for a data view. So the model has been created. In the diagram view, the model has been created. Now with the help of this data modeling, what I can do, I can create some measures. I can create some functions. Okay, I can create some small calculation field very easily with the help of this table. Okay, so if I want to add some columns along with that, I can do it. Okay, now just imagine in my customer table, I don't have any product ID and I don't have any other product names here, only related to customer task. Okay, only related to customer task. But in my order detail, I have a quantity field here. Only the quantity field is there. But there is no price here. Okay, there is no price here to calculate my total fields. For example, this customer ID has bought 2 quantity. This customer ID has bought 3 quantity. But I don't know what the price it has been done, what is the price that he has purchased, and what is the total sales for him. Nothing can be known. Okay, which all the informations are available in another table called the product detail table. But in this product table, we don't have a customer ID. We have only the product price with product's profit. If I sell this product for $261.96, then I'll be getting with $41 as a profit. This is what I have this information. But 3 tables are in a different manner. Okay, here it is product quantity is there. And here it is a product price is there. Okay, usually what you can do VLOOKUP to bring my price column, but with the help of only product ID, I can make a VLOOKUP here. Okay, but in Power Pivot, there is no VLOOKUP bundle required because we have created already a data relationship view in diagram view. I'm going to add a price column here. Okay, I'm going to bring a price column here, or I'm going to bring a sales column here. For example, double click sales. Okay, I'm going to create a new column name called sales here. Okay, sales, in which I want to add a calculations. Okay, what calculations I can do it. Okay, with the help of measure, I can create it. I can create some measures easily. Sales column. What is the sales required? So sales column is required with quantity of the table. Okay, you can see quantity, which is in product detail table. Product detail table, multiply my order detail quantity, which is 2, 3. This is this column. And next column, my product details. My product detail has a price column. Okay, so I can go with price. Okay, product detail with price, I have it. I'll just check for it. Okay, price is not there. Okay, I'll just go and check it. Okay, the price column is there already. Let me check. I'll try to add it in this box. Let's see how does it work. Okay, the product details price multiply the quantity. Maybe the relationship is not built, I guess. Let's see how does it work. Okay, so the quantity relationship is not built. So I'll go for again a data view now. Let's see either it is working or not. Okay, the relationship is already existed source. Okay, the relationship is done. Okay, I'll just go for a table to refresh it again. Under data view, I'll go and refresh all the one. Okay, it is refreshed now. Okay, it is refreshed now. Okay, so I'll try to do more connections. So product details are there. I'll just go and delete this product detail as of now. Okay, so I'll just go and delete it. So two tables are as of now we have it. One is through the upload way. Through the other source we have uploaded the customer detail, and second one we uploaded the order detail. So I'll go again one more table to be downloaded. Again I have deleted. So I'm just redoing it again with Excel file, and I'm going to pick the third table, which is called product table. Okay, product details. Use my first column as column header, and then I'm just going to finish it. Okay, I'm just trying to close the file. It is already opened in the data model view. That is why it is not opening. I'll just go again to do it. So it is in use itself. Let's see. Product details. I'll just close it. Okay, now the file has been closed. So sheet number 1, I'm just going to finish it. So 24 rows are there. Now it is successfully loaded and transferred to data modeling. So now the 3 tables are available in the data model. So third one, which I'm going to make that as product detail. Product underscore details. Okay, now 3 things which comes, and again I'll go for data view. Let's see the data connections I want to make. First, the connection is available between the first table and second table. Now the third one, which I'm going to create it, okay, which is product ID with product ID. So now one more relationship has been created now. Let's try it again with Go data view now. So first, after making connection, do refresh. So the progress is there. So it is getting refreshed. Okay, now the thing is refreshed, and I can add some calculated column or measure directly. I'll go for order detail at first. In this sales, which I'll try it now. Sales, the quantity of detail multiply the price. Okay, now the price of product, we can check it. So the product details, which exactly works. Okay, or else I can go with the measure model directly to multiply it here. So the connection is not found correctly. That is why the error is coming here. Okay, so if it is connections correctly comes between the two tables, then what we can do, we can multiply from order detail 2 to the price of the product in the another table, so that we can bring this price over here to multiply it in the easiest way. Okay, that is the connection mates. So you can use easily with the help of these connections, data modeling view, you can add the information to multiple tables. Okay, so here product ID with product ID, and then customer name with customer name. So 3 interlinked options will be there. After that, you can make a tables in a very easiest way. Okay, you can make a calculations in a quick way. So let me go with another measure method to do it. I'll go for Excel sheet now randomly. I'll try to bring it in. So first, I want to make a measure to be created. Okay, the measure to be created, because this is like a formula kind of a thing. In Excel, we are including a functions. We are inserting a functions. But in a Powerpivot and Power BI, we are using a function. Instead of function, we are using a measures and DAX. Okay, DAX will be there. So DAX means data analysis expression. That is a separate language, a kind of a thing where we want to write it. Okay, first I'll go for which table to be included. First, in the quantity field is there. So I'll go for a order detail, order underscore detail. In that order underscore detail, I want to create a measure name called total quantity. Total quantity. Okay, and then I'm going to write a max DAX measure here, which is simply I can use with some function or subtotal, whatever it may be, sum of my total quantity. Okay, I'll just go for order detail, total quantity, which I'm going to give it. Okay, and then I'm going to show that in number way with 2 decimal point. When I click OK, now you can see this measure will be added in my table, in my order table very easily. Now you can see the total quantity has been done. The total quantity will come with results here. Okay, I'll just go and extend it. 96 quantities are there. So this is in which we have totally 96 quantities are there. You want to create a measure like this. Okay, so this will be with the help of kind of same formula bar with formulas are there. Okay, we have so many other formulas are there, which is to bring some data here. Okay, and now with the help of this sum function, what we have done, we have identified the total quantity of the product now, total quantity. But sales I required. So first sales required means we want to multiply. What to multiply? My quantity into price. But quantity is available in the table 2. Product is available in the product price is available in the product detail. Okay, so 2 different table as two informations. So now I want to make combine with this. So what I'll do, I am going to create one more price column here to directly multiply. Without directly multiplying, I'm going to bring this price column in my table, in my second table, and then I'm going to multiply it. Okay, so I'm going to bring a price here. So price means what I can do. The price is available in product detail. Okay, so I want to bring a price now. So how to do? Just go for equal to in the price column. You can use a function called related table. Okay, you can use a function called related table. Related table is a function. This comes under a DAX function. Okay, like a measure kind of a thing. Okay, DAX function means there are predefined DAX functions are there, same like Excel formula, Excel function. Okay, in Excel function we have 500 plus are there. Same like we have a DAX functions here. Okay, more than in Power Query we are going to use more than 800 M functions are there. Okay, that is through a measure functions. Okay, in Powerpivot we are using with the DAX functions. Over 500 functions are there. Over 300 functions are there. DAX functions. 300 above we have it. Okay, so this related table, what it happens, returns the related table filtered so it that only include the related rows, which means with the help of this related table, what I can bring my price here. For example, related table with my price of the detail, product of the detail, which I want to bring now. Okay, which I want to bring now. I'm just going to select that and I'm going to hit enter now. Okay, now we can see the product quantity is 2 and now this measure is trying to apply it here. Okay, let's see why it is not applied and what connection is not missing here. Let's see it. Product detail price is there. So I'll go for related table and I'm trying to bring my price column here. Product detail price. I'll hit enter now. Okay, product details is there. Something the name is missing, that is why we are getting error. If it is not, then directly what it happens, it brings the price of the table into this one so that you can easily get your a price amount into this box. I'll just check what is the name which is missing here. Product details, product underscore details. Okay, I'll do refresh again so that we can make connections to be strong. Okay, let me try bringing my quantity here. Let's see how does it work. Okay, I'm going with the related table. This is a function, as I said, related table. I'm going to bring my quantity column, order quantity. I'm trying to bring it here. Now something the error which is occurs. Maybe I'm missing out of some relationship here. That is why it is not properly working on. If it is correct calculations, then definitely it will be bringing your order details and then product details over here. So that you can easily, once the quantity comes, you can multiply with price and quantity and to add a sum with your total sales that you can do it. Okay, I'll just check it 1 minute. Equal to related, we can write related. Yeah, so you can bring related function then. So it will exactly look like a VLOOKUP. Okay, this related table is a function is kind of a VLOOKUP. Based on the product ID in this table, in order ID in this table, it try to bring a quantity here. Okay, let's try it again. How does it work? Okay, it shows the error. Okay, it shows some error here. That is why it is not loading. Fail to resolve name quantity. It is not a valid table, it shows. Okay, so there is some connections problem is there in a table manner. That is why it is not exactly picking up. Okay, it seems like a error which occurs. Okay, let me try it again. Related column with Price, I'm trying to bring it. No, it is not identifying here because of some connection issue. It is not exactly identifying it here. Okay, so the order details and product details will come this way. So once the connection is made exactly, then you can bring the column name directly from another tables. Okay, so that it is easy for us to make a connections. So once it is done, it will easily make a bring of price values or a quantity fields in this list in a very quick manner. So it is not identifying pigs here because of the connection issue only. So the relationship it not exactly works. That is why the problem occurs. Okay, so once it is done, it brings a quantity field. We can multiply and we can make a sum, and we can make some measures here also. As same like how Power Queries as we have done. As same like a Power Query, we can apply our measures and functions or calculated fields in this way. Okay, the only one field which I have done, one DAX function we have created now so far, which is called a sum function. Okay, simply by ordering the state, because this is the only number related field we have it now. Okay, if the query works properly, then we can bring a price here and we can multiply the total sales and we can identify the what is the sale value for each and every one. Everything can be identified. Okay, so this is what you can do it. Okay, so any doubt about Powerpivot about this one? So loading of files and then trying to make connections and all. So this will be with the help of practice, this definitely works on. And more important thing, your data set has to be in a very related manner. For example, if it is the primary key is missing and you can found some errors over there. So you want to make sure the primary key is available in all the sheets, which will help you to get the exact data modeling view. Okay, though we have an exact modeling view here, the connection is done. You can see the price is not exactly working. We have some problem in this price area and quantity problem. That is why it shows a small error here. Okay, maybe the data set doesn't have a correct data values. That is why it is showing some error in this part. Okay, if it is correct, then it exactly works. Okay, it exactly works, and you can easily match your data to the tables, and you can bring a total sales value and price value in a very easiest way. But some errors which is showing in this table, and this is to be acquired. This is to be need to be checked here. Okay, I'll just remove the data model price column. I'll remove this quantity column also from the data model. So I want to add it. Okay, again, I want to add it. So profit is there and price is there. You can make connections and you can try to bring it. Okay, I'll try to do it again. Now the data model view, the error has been deleted. I'll go for data view and try to bring it. So the quantity fields is there. I'll do a last try with sales and then we can check it out. The price column which I'm going to bring. Now it is calculating. Let's see. Equal to related table. Okay, I want to bring my price column here. Okay, so price is available here. Okay, now the product details price which I have done. Okay, maybe some error it's showing here. This red color line which comes, which is an error, which means the data modeling has not set the right relationship. That is why it shows an error. If it is in a correct way, then definitely it brings a price column, I guess. Okay, here it won't bring, I don't guess. Yes, the errors will come because the data modeling, what I have done, what I have uploaded, which the data set has some issues. That is why it is not loading it here. Okay, maybe if we rectify this data model, then it exactly works on. Okay, so that is the only way. So this is the Powerpivot will help you to add a connections between tables. Instead of bringing them into a one single table, what we are doing, we are trying to get we're trying to get connected with multiple tables. Multiple connections can be done and make a connections, and then we are doing a measures here. Okay, so with the help of this measures, we can load some calculation part also. Right now, I cannot make any calculation because we have only one number related fields. This quantity field is there. Okay, we can make a random quantity. Okay, the value what we want to understand, total value, what is the value for the each and every column. Then you can mix it, like you can create some measures here. I'll go for Excel sheet. I'm going to try to bring some measures. In the order detail, I want the total sum value. Okay, this is how to bring it with the help of sumX function. So we can move with sumX function that returns table and expression. Okay, so I want to add a table at first. I'll try to bring some table. This is, again, you required both columns. Both the columns are there. Customer detail, and then I'll go with product detail. So product detail with price column is there. So price, that is a product table you want updated. So the table name you want added. Okay, customer detail is there, and same like we have order details and then we have product details. So I want to select the table name at first, product details, and then what you want to multiply. So I want to multiply the price into the quantity. Okay, quantity is not available because the relationship is not maintained. So I'll go with profit here directly. So I'll go with profit in the same table. Just for an example, I'm doing it here. Okay, I'll just go for OK now. It is trying to calculate. And if you go for a Power Query window, Powerpivot window, then it exactly shows here. Now see, it shows the total value here. The total sum of my price into profit is almost 58 lakh it shows here. Why? Because it shows it just multiplying those two things, 261 into 41 and the total value. And in that way it is working on. Okay, so you can multiply these two things and then we are adding it here. Okay, just consider this as a profit or this consider this as a total quantity. Then we can do multiplication of price into quantity. So price into quantity, which brings the total value of 58 lakhs here. And with the help of these two columns, we are doing it. Okay, here you can make with price and profit. You want to multiply the same price and profit, then we can make a sales column in this table because we have two number fields in this list. I'll go for a sales. I'll randomly do it now. Just for example, I'm doing it. So sales column, which comes here. So total the price multiply profit. Okay, total price into profit because two are number related columns which is available in the same table, product detail table. So I'm doing share direct sales price and profit here. In case if I have a quantity here, then I can multiply price into quantity. Now since the relationship is not working properly, that is why you cannot unable to do it. But now we can see once it is done, the price into profit has been done with 10,000 and then 1,50,000, same like this totally. And you can make a comma separators and you can bring some decimal points to one digit also if you require it. Okay, and now two decimal point which works because the function which works exactly with 2. And now this is the value. If you add all these values, these values, you'll be getting with 58 lakhs here. Okay, so that is what it shows here. With sum of the total quantity and profit, it exactly brings 58 lakh 12,789. So you can do these type of calculations with the help of these measures. Okay, as a measure, what it has, DAX functions in Excel. We have 550 plus functions are there. Same like in DAX, this is DAX means data analysis expression, which comes under Power Query and Power BI. Okay, this is a query language. This is a query language. Now I have used with two or three functions like sum functions, sumX, and then related table, and then related. These functions which I have used it. These all are DAX functions. Okay, as same like Excel, we have a DAX functions. We want to learn that one and we want to work on that. So as same like we have almost 300 or 400 plus DAX functions are there in Power Query and in Power BI also. Okay, that can be easily used in a Power Pivot. The same thing. Almost everybody will be same. And also you have the same date, time. So all other things that you can do it. Okay, so with the help of this a sales field and price field, you can add, multiply whatever you require, you can do it in that same table. Okay, you can bring a lot of calculated columns also for that part. So you can apply some if conditions if you require. If the price is more than 20, or you can add with easily, if condition can be applied for these scenarios. If the price is more than 400, then I want to make that as high sale and low sale, something like that you can easily maintain. You can apply it with the help of additional columns. Okay, you can bring a lot of new columns here. Okay, so as same like instead of new columns, you can make some summary also in this way. So this summary will help me to add a total quantity and total prices. So the price can be updated with the help of product table. Okay, still this is the only problem with the price field. So there is some connectivity issue. That is why it is not exactly identifying it. Okay, so maybe the name of this hope, the name which is in the same way, that is why it is not matching, I guess. The profit with sales field we have done, sum function we have done. This is sum is the function that we have done. We have calculated the measure. And total quantity we have calculated like a f of x function that we have created. The price field is alone the problem. So price field is already available here. Maybe that is why it is not working, I guess. So the price field, I can make that with some different name. I'll go with total sales. Okay, so now I have changed it. I've changed it, but still there's a problem in the product table, product details table. So that is why it is not working. Okay, so that is a connectivity issue. That is why. So in case if it is done, then you can bring the price column here and we can multiply it. Okay, so this is about a data modeling here. So you can make a data modeling and you can bring pivot table also. With the help of this, you can directly bring pivot table to your sheets. Once the data model is all our models are loaded, you can go and make a pivot table. Okay, now how to bring a table in the easiest way? First, usually when you go for a pivot table in Excel sheet, what it looks only from the table you are going to pick it. But now this time we are not going to pick from table, we are going with a data model view. When I click this data model view, you can see now when I click OK, it exactly comes with the table, and along with that 3 tables what we have listed down, what 3 tables we have loaded, all the tables will come in the same area in the pivot table fields. That is what the advantage of using data modeling, which means what I can do, since the connectivity issue, a relationship problem in our query, that is why it is not working properly, but still you can make the calculations very easily. Now you can see these are the tables which comes here. Now I want to add a customer ID from table number 1. The customer ID is added now here. See, these are the customer ID, for which what I want to do, I want to bring my total price here. When I click value here, the total price of the value will come. But still, this 2 table has no connectivity because the relationship has not identified. Okay, we cannot create any identity. Why? Because this product table doesn't have any customer relationship, customer ID and all. Okay, it has only connected with the order table. So you cannot bring any price columns over here. Okay, so you want to bring only this order option here, only this option here. Okay, you can get this one, total customer. For that, what is the total value of the quantity? That you can bring it. Okay, total value means it exactly says the sum of quantity will be there. So I can just go to the field and I can make that as a count. Okay, so count means 25 counts are there. So something like that, it exactly make connections and it shows the pivot table for all the tables here. Okay, now this table has some problem. So that is why it is showing a small warning here. These fields are not in a proper connections. That is why it is not working. If it is in a correct way, then you can easily interact. You can bring those informations into a pivot table. So multiple tables can be shown in the same area. with the relationship maintained. If it is maintained, then you can add 10 tables also. You can bring table number 1 with 1 field, table number 2 with 2 second field. Multiple table fields can be uploaded in the pivot table at the same time. Or else the 10 different files are there. You want to consolidate all the 10 different files into one file, and then you want to make a pivot table. Okay, it is a very difficult work. Why? Because each and every table has almost 20 columns. Then 20 column into 10, which means almost 200 columns are there. So you cannot bring 200 columns into a single table. That is why we have a lot of problems over there. So you must require the data modeling to be connected with the relationships, and you can bring all the table in the same pivot table fields, and then you can drag and drop it. So this is one way of doing data modeling and Powerpivot. Okay, so while practicing with you, I'll be sharing you the data sets also. You can try with that and try make some connections, and you'll be getting it. Okay, so this is about a Power Query, Power Pivot and all. So Power Query, what it will do? Power Query is same like a Power Window that we have opened so far. The Power Window we have opened it. Okay, here I can close it now. You can go with Power Query also. As I said earlier, Power Query, which is available under Data tab. Here the advantage is you can load all the files into a single click itself, and then you can make any connections you require. Okay, you can make interlink with some different data sets under. Okay, first I'll go and launch this Power Query editor. Get data tab. I'll go for Power Query editor at first. Okay, now the Power Query editor is opened. Okay, this is again, you have a transformation field and add data column view, and then view option is there. Okay, as same like a separate window will be opened. Okay, to load your files. Okay, same like a Power window, Power Pivot, you have a Power Query also. So you can go for a new file source, and you can bring all the things into a single click. For example, file from folder, that you can take it up. Okay, when I go for file from folder, now I can directly select the folder what we have. So almost we have 3 files here. 3 files are there. Okay, in Power Pivot. Okay, you can bring all those things here very easily. Okay, I'll just try to get it. Why it is not showing? Okay, so maybe it is not showing. I'll just check with the Excel sheet. Okay. So I'll first import it one by one. Customer ID is imported, and it is creating a connections. By default, it comes like a query. Okay, again, a same thing like a Power Pivot, it works on. So sheet number 1 is now loaded. This is the one thing which I have loaded, and you can see now this is with 25 files, 25 records. Okay, so as same what we have seen in the Power window, Power Query window, as the same thing is available in Power Query also. Okay, you can make easily data to be loaded, and you can do other calculation works. Okay, and you want to maintain and build a relationship again. Okay, now add columns and view options is there, and you can make some transformations. Okay, one again same thing, query dependency will be there, like relationships can be maintained easily. Okay, that you can do it easily. Okay, relationships. Now I'll load one more file. I'll go for another file, which is a product detail order sheet, which I'm going to load it. Okay, sheet number 1 is now loaded. And then again, I'm going for one more, the last one, the Power detail window. Okay, so the Power Query now included all the 3. Okay, one is customer detail and order detail and product detail. So after loading all this information, I'll just go and change the name of this in the property area. Okay, first is customer detail. This is customer underscore detail, which I'm going to give it customer underscore detail. And then I'll go for sheet number 2. This is a order detail. So I'll go for order underscore detail. And then I'll go for search sheet. This is product underscore detail. Product underscore detail. Okay, now 3 tables are there. Okay, you can do any functions easily with the help of Power Query window. Okay, like transforming this in a very easiest way. For example, the product names are there. Okay, these all are in small letters now. When I go for product transformations, I can do a lot of things here. Same like Excel, I can do it. Okay, I can make with a formatting with uppercase by default. When I click here upper format, then automatically all the values are now converted into a capital letter by default. Okay, same like we have seen one example in the Power Query in last class. Okay, about a payroll calculation, we have seen it. Okay, like same automation kind of thing. Everything is done. Now, if I load this information, it exactly getting loaded into my Excel sheet in a quick manner. Okay, like a new 3 tables will come automatically. So dependency, query dependency can be done now. Okay, you can load your sheets, workload your sheets, and where does it come from, and order details will be there. You can easily select, make connections in this way. What are the layouts we have, that you can check it out. Okay, so but again, the data modeling you cannot do to over here. Okay, with the help of Power Query, Power BI, we can do it. Okay, but here only for transformation purpose. Okay, you can make transformations in that way, you can do it. Now, when I load this information, for example, I'll go for close and I'll go with loading this option now. Okay, I'm loading that into my Excel sheet. Now, the 3 queries will come automatically here. Okay, now you can see the 3 queries which comes automatically. One is my customer detail, and then my order detail, and then my product detail. Okay, so that comes in a 3 different table here as same like, and then you can have a link option here with the Power Query. Okay, you can unlink also at any time if you require it. Okay, and data modeling can be done now. So you can add all these informations into data modeling, and then relationship to be maintained. Okay, we cannot find any relationship because select a pivot table that based on the data model. So you want to add all those things into a data model so that you can do it. Or I'll go for a data view at first, data tab. In this data tab, I can make a relationships here. Okay, see the 2 active relationship is already there. When I upload this table, customer detail, customer ID with customer ID, and product ID with product ID, which is already found here. Okay, so with the help of this, you can load this information into our data model and you can start uploading it. Okay, let me try again. I'll go for a Powerpivot and try to add this as in a data model. This is the first one which I have loaded into a data model. This is called a product detail 1. Okay, and then I'll go for order detail. I'll try adding this data model again. Order detail 1. Okay, and then I'll go again with customer detail. So I'll just go on customer detail and click add on this model. So now 3 tables as done created. I'll just delete the old one. I don't want this one. I'll just go and delete it. So the query is now loaded through Power Query options. Okay, so I included a file in a Power Query and then I bring those things into a data model. Okay, now 3 tables are now loaded and I'll go for diagram view and now we'll try to make some connections and let's see how does it work. So I'll make the customer ID to customer ID, that is 1. And then I'll make product ID to product ID. Okay, now the data connection is done. I'll go for refresh and let's see how does it work. Okay, I'll go for data view and in the order ID, I'll try to bring some price here. Let's see how does it work. Okay, total price column. So I'll go with related table. related table with price column, which I'm going to bring it. Okay, so now again, there's some problem which is showing on, which is missing with some connections, I guess. Let's see how does it work.
Jay.
Yeah, please.
I just have some observation when you are, going through this. What
Yeah.
I feel, we are just establishing a relation between the two tables. If there
Yes.
is a third table which also has the same, unique thing, we should establish a connection between all three. I guess so.
Yes, yes.
Can we do it that actually?
Yeah, we can do that one.
So,
but problem.
I think that works. Can we see that? Because see what we are doing it over here also in a third table, we do have a product ID common, right? So what I think, whatever the have the common, no, we should establish a relationship. Then we will try the DAX function. That will really work.
Exactly. Even now,
Shall
we don't have any other connections here. That is why the table is not showing.
Yeah, actually, we are not establishing a connection between all three. There should be a, one common thing between all three tables.
Exactly.
Then only, I guess, the relationship work.
Yes, yes.
Can we try in that way?
Yeah, even now, the customer ID to customer ID, which I have already linked it.
Okay. Over here, what I still see the product ID, and
other than that, that is what the problem, I guess. The data set what we have loaded, which is not sufficient.
Actually, there should be three common things, one common thing in all the three tables. That only it creates a relationship.
Exactly.
Actually.
That is what the data set what I have used in this example, which doesn't have a correct relationship. That is why it is not working.
Okay.
But not a problem. This is the way that you want to make a connections. If you go for different tables, then only you can go with data modeling. With only two tables, but which is not sufficient. You want to make multiple tables, and with all the primary keys are very important to make a connections so that it is easy to work with you. One-to-many relationship and one-to-one relationships are there. With the help of that, you can easily load it.
Totally agree, but there has to be, one common link in all the three tables to establish a relation. I feel so.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. And even with the help of relationship detection, it is not exactly finding out. And with the help of this data tab, it is exactly finding only two connections which is found by default. So this two, which is customer ID to customer ID, and product ID to product ID, which is working on. But maybe another relationship which is required to make connection with one more table, then it exactly works on. Okay, fine. So this is the Power Query and Power Window. So mostly what you require, your data set is most important, and also make connections through this option. In Power Query and Power Pivot window, this we can do a manual kind of a thing. But when you go for a Power BI, these connections will do automatically comes. Auto relationship, auto detections will be there. You can go and create an auto connections, and the table diagrammatic view will automatically do connections in the easiest way in Power BI. Okay, so that is the advantage of using Power BI, and you can do with a larger number of records. And even in Power Pivot, what we are doing, we are loading multiple number of files, like 10 different files to be loaded at the same time, and then you can make connections. That will be helpful for us to do it. And also, you can load n number of records. So the volume is, even if it is 1 lakh or 2 lakh records, with the help of Power Pivot, adding a data modeling, and then you can do it. It is easy for you to do it. That is the advantage of using Power Query and Power Window. Okay, in Power BI, that is a separate tool. You have a desktop version or online versions. Both are available. Okay, desktop version is free, that you can easily download it from anything. Okay, from online you can easily download it, and based on the system requirements, you can download from a Microsoft Store directly. Or you required online version, you want to go for app.powerbi.com. Okay, that is an online version. You required a license for that to purchase it. Okay, Power Free Desktop means that is a free. You can download it and you can install in your system, and you can prepare a dashboard reports, all those things by adding a data model kind of things. Okay, you want to load the file and you can start doing it. With the help of DAX function again there, you want to create some models. Okay, so any doubts so far about this one? So this will be like, since the data set is not correct, that is why it is not exactly connected with the queries. But the objective is like you are adding other informations in a table in a data model view, and then you are just doing some measures here. So calculating measures, as last time I have shown you, creating some new measures, creating a data model, all those things can be done only in Powerpivot.
So Jay, I have a question over here.
Yeah, please.
In a real corporate world, what is being used mostly, a Power Pivot or a Power BI? Because using a Power BI is more, feasible, because we don't have to create a relationship because it automatically detected, right? Where in a Power Pivot, we have to really go and create a relationship.
Correct.
So since you are in a corporate and you will be using all these things, what do you think? What is more usable? Is a Power BI or a Power Pivot?
No, Power BI only we are doing it. The only thing is
that is more easy to understand and actually more easy to operate it, because we don't have to go manually. Directly from the source we can import a file, right?
Exactly.
Or from a database.
Exactly.
What I observed, yeah.
Correct. Even now, the source can be pulled from many other databases also in Power BI. That is the one biggest advantage we have. Like 150 plus advantages on directly connecting with our databases like SAP or Oracle or SQL, whatever it may be. Even from Google Analytics, Google Cloud, whatever it may be, you can connect it.
Because it also has the same feature as what you correctly told, data modeling and data that view and all. So I think using a Power BI is more easy to understand, and you need to did not need to go in that depth, because it automatically do the things for you. It automatically establishes the relationship.
Exactly. That is what this is called as Power BI, business intelligence, which means that already has a automated way. You can just load the files. It will do whatever it can. That thing can be automatically done. Rest of the few parts we want to do it.
Exactly.
And same like in Excel, we are having a lot of functions. In Excel, we have almost data, date and time functions, and then logical functions, and then text functions. All those things are available in Excel. As same like Power BI also, as the same 80% of the functions are same.
Along with the DAX function, right? What the Power Pivot is using it, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
The DAX is called as data analysis expression, and it will be like exactly 80% will be same.
Only so both are having the same function, correct?
Exactly. The arguments also even same. If you go and check logical functions, same arguments, same way of methoding it.
Okay, got.
And it can be do in two different ways. Either you can create a calculated columns. Okay, even that is calculated column means we are
defined function, UDF.
Exactly. You are doing some calculation that it will be stored in your database in a table. It stores like a memory in a table.
Okay, UDF.
Yeah, like a memory. And you have another option which is called a measure. Measure is like a default a single phrase value. This won't store in a table like a calculated field. What we have seen in a pivot table. So we in the pivot table we have seen a calculated field, like applied with some if condition, applied with some function. All those things will not store in the table in a calculated mode. It will store in a page fields of options. So this will be useful for a memory to be very less. It won't add any value in a table. Okay, that will be a separate topics are there in a DAX functions in Power BI. So that will be helpful for us to do a data modeling. A lot of options are there in Power BI. Okay, so just for example, in the last Power, I think we have seen pivot table. In that, let's see, I'll show you what is this measure and all. Okay, I'll just trying to get my pivot table file. I think we have covered that in day 3, I guess.
That's the reason, Jay, I was asking for your recorded sessions copy to us. So, whenever we have a doubt, we just go through the day-wise, this what you have taught, and it's very easy for us to go to the audio and listen to it. It will really help us to understand,
Yeah, the files are already
So
loaded in some YouTube channel, I think. This is what the shared by
the
Lakshmi.
audio files, right, Jay? You are talking about?
No, video and audio both is there.
Both are there, no? That will be
Yeah,
helpful.
yeah, you
That
can see
was the
this.
only goal behind asking for both the things, that really
Yeah,
helps us. Rather
yeah,
than
yeah.
only
So
a data, audio will also help me to understand day-wise what we have learned.
yeah. So this is what
Exactly.
session number 1 to session number 5, which is already loaded. Okay, this is the playlist, I think. So I can just share this playlist in
Yeah,
the
please,
chat box
please.
now.
Just a sec. Yeah, we will save it.
Okay, I have done now. I have done the YouTube playlist here. So you can just start seeing the videos, and day 6 and day 7 will be loaded today.
Yeah. Please ask Lakshmi to do so.
Yeah, I'll definitely do it.
Thanks, Jay.
Okay, and
Yeah.
you can all the recorded sessions are already loaded 1 to 5. You can start seeing it. Okay, and as I said, the pivot table, I'll just show the calculated fields now. Okay, so now this is a pivot table, and this is what the example we have seen. Now the first installment file, the second installment, this is two conditions. We have done these conditions here. Okay, these all are measures, which means the page fields calculated fields. It is not a calculated fields, a measure kind of a thing. Okay, which means the first installment, second installment will not come in my table, in my original data set. Here it won't come it. Okay, it won't come. But while doing this pivot table, it comes in my page fields. I can use like a memory. Okay, this is called a measure in Power BI. Okay, which is, if you start learning about a Power BI, so you'll be definitely know about what is the differences between measure, and then what is the differences between calculated fields. Okay, so that will be a separate topic. Even the Power BI will minimum take at least 20 hours to see all those informations about a tool in a very basic way. Okay, so this is what it works on. So we don't want to go in depth about this Power Query and Power Pivot, because again, it is a separate topic and separate courses will be there. Just an overview, you have seen it. Now we enter into our last module. Maybe we'll take a 10-minute of break now. After this break, we are going to see about what is automation, what is Excel macros, and then how to create UDF, all those things we can see it. Okay, so now we take a 10-minute break. We'll be regroup again at 8:40. Okay, shall we start now?
Yes, Jay.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm creating one more new file, which is for Excel automations. Okay, so first we want to see what is automation, and then we will see about what is VBA macros and what are the types of macros we have in Excel. Okay, first introduction about a macro, which is automations. Okay, so usually what are called automations? Any idea about it? Have you ever used even a record macro or any VBA script in your workstation? Okay, see, now automations are like without a manual effort. For example, there are a lot of automations are there in the market, like RPA. That is one which is very trending, called robotic process automation. Okay, you can create a lot of bots in Excel in a system application. You don't want to do anything. For example, if you start that automation, it will run in a background way. Okay, it will run in a background way. It will do a lot of activities like web scraping, data fetching, okay, and connectivity, data calculations. A lot of things it will do with the help of coding through a RPA language, that is a separate language, and also that is called as robotic process automation. But in Excel, what type of automations we can do it? Okay, we can do a daily activities. Example, if you are doing an activity in your workstation in a very routine work, okay, 26 days that you are doing in a month, daily you are doing it. Okay, it takes 1 hour for you, which means you can try doing those things into an automation. You can convert those things into an automation with the help of Visual Basic application. That is the programming language we are using it. Okay, for example, the programming language what we have used is VBA, Visual Basic Application. Okay, through this language only we are creating a macros. This macro will automatically go and interact with computer in that own coding knowledge. With the help of that, all the activities will be done. Okay, here that we are going to interact with computer. Okay, as a human, we are going to interact with computer. So we must ready to speak in that language. That is why we are learning Visual Basic Application. Okay, so we are going to learn this Visual Basic Application and then we have to interact it. In this, there are two different ways are there. Okay, so can you hear me now clearly? Is my voice is clear now?
Jay, your voice is clear. I guess there is some issue with Mamta's connection, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay, so now about this automations in Excel, we can do that in two different ways. Okay, one is record macro, and second one is Visual Basic Application, VBA. That is coding with script we want to write it. So two things that we want to do it. So before going to see about these types, what are the advantage of automation? Why we are using automations in any organization? Okay, so any idea about it? What is the reason for using automation?
Hi, Jay, this is Kanchan.
Yeah.
It saves the man time. Then
Exactly.
it reduces the possibilities of errors that occurs while doing manually. And
yes.
Third would be
saving.
I guess you had explained this earlier as well.
Yes.
So when you were giving some briefings on
smart art something.
Yeah. On some
exactly. Okay, so that is what. See, the automations are used here to do a time saving. That is why most of the companies are preferred to go with that. Okay, why? Because as a human, we can do a little thing, but as a machine, it will do in a very fast manner, and also it doesn't require any rest at all. So it will automatically do a 24/7. For example, now if you go and take any automobile industry, all car manufacturings are now done by robots. Okay, why? Because it doesn't take risk. There is no error. Okay, accuracy will be 100%, and also cost saving. Why? Because if for making a car, at least 10 to 15 people required, but now only one car is doing all the thing. One robot is doing all the thing to make a car. Okay, that is the advantage of using automations. If you go anywhere, the automations are exist, and now the future will be in completely in terms of automation, which reduce a lot of manual efforts. Without manual effort, it which work on. So no manual effort is required.
So you mean to say machine learning and the artificial intelligence comes here in a picture?
Exactly. That is what now some of the machines will do without doing any artificial, without doing any thinking, which is routinely it will do it. But now with the help of artificial intelligence, it will think by their own and automatically it is doing it. That is what even the more advantage of using it. Okay. Now the automations has some disadvantage. So do you feel what are the disadvantages we have in automation? Any idea about what is the disadvantage we have it?
Hi Jay, Kanchan here. It is
Yeah.
like if suppose macros and VBA, these work vice versa. Say for example, VBA works, we have to make a code. In case of
Exactly.
macros, we the codes automatically get generated by inserting any kind of input. So in terms of disadvantage, it can be if single code get missed out, or single comma, or say colon, or whatever code, whatever signs that require that gets error, then there is an possibility, high possibilities of error occurring, and it is like automated. So whatever input you give, you have to make sure the data set is cleared in crystal clear prior doing to it.
Exactly. That is what. Now there will be a lot of technical issue. You must require a technical knowledge to write a code. That is one thing. That is one biggest disadvantage, because as I said earlier, this Visual Basic application is a language, programming language, where we are using to interact with our computers. Okay, as a human, we are doing interaction with different communications, with different language to be communicated. But in computer language, we have only binary languages there. Okay, which means what are the informations we are going to tell to computer, that will be turned into zeros and ones. Okay, so that is why we require to learn about these programming language and trying to interact with the computer. All the programming language will be as a common core languages will be in a same structure. Like it has data types, it has loops, it has conditional statements, it has control statements, it has procedures, all the programming language in the same manner. If you learn any one programming language, rest of the languages also will be in a similar to that. Okay, 80% of the programming languages are same. For example, if you go and learn a Python, it will be same like a VBA code. Okay, almost similar to that. The programming language will be same. Only the key words and then a small structure changes will be there in different things. Okay, but the objective, but the result what you required, everything will be the same in all the languages. Okay, now that is what we required. For VBA code, we must require a technical knowledge to write it, unless we cannot do anything. Okay, but people from a finance background, people from some non-computer science background, even though they can create a macro with the help of record macros. So record macros are very important for people who doesn't know code. Okay, why? Because it can be automatically record all your steps, converted into a codes, and then it will help you to rerun it. Okay, so the steps will be captured and it will again help you to rerun it. But as I said, this is without a coding it do. So what happened? It has some constraints in how much range that you are recorded. Till that only it will work. Okay, it won't work for the last record. In case if you are recorded only for first 100 line items, then this macro will work only for the first 100 line item. If it is more than 110 or 115, then it won't work. Okay, this is the one problematic way in record macro. Why? Because it's based on the range what we have recorded. Okay, but in the VBA code, it will automatically go and find with the help of variables and data types what are the values we have. For that entirely it works on. Okay, that is what the advantage between VBA macro and record macros. And again, this is a separate topic, okay, which almost take 2 months or 3 months to completely learn about VBA code to write your own codes. Okay, so by your own you can easily write it, but you can come to know in Google all the codes are available. What are the codes you require? You just go and type a code in VBA code for deleting a column or deleting a row, something like that. If you type it in Google, it will easy to help you to give a direct code to you. You can just copy and paste it. You can bring some ready-made macros are there already available in the market in the Google. From that also you can easily take it out. Again, you can edit it. That is not a problem. But while start learning it, you come to know why we are using these codes, what is the nature of that code, and how we can easily editable based on our requirement, where we can take some codes. All those things will be learned. Now the disadvantage part, as rightly said, must required with technical knowledge to interact with computer. Okay, this is one biggest disadvantage. Okay, and second, required technical knowledge. Next is, so wherever manpower comes, this is a common issue in all the industry, across the globe. Wherever automation comes, definitely manpower reductions will be there. This is one of the biggest disadvantage in terms of people management. Okay, like if you see earlier, there will be a lot of people who are working in automobile industry, but after 2010, there will be a big unemployment in that particular industry. Why? Because there are a lot of robots are now working. There is no manual intervention is required anymore. Everything is done by a machine, which means you won't get any job at all. So as same like wherever you go, if you are including if you are trying to incorporate any automations, the only problem is manpower. Okay, that is what the biggest issue. This can be segregated into 3 different types. Okay, companies are using this macros for 3 main major purposes. Okay, as I said earlier, one is for time saving. Okay, out of 100 companies, 30% of companies are using only for time saving purposes. For example, there are only 8 employees in a team. Okay, but they want to work for 12 hours in a day. They are working very loud and the workload will be very high. They are working 12 hours or 13 hours in a day. In that situation, you are right to incorporate a VBA macro or any automations in that place to reduce the time. Okay, only for time saving purposes, 30% of companies are now trying to solve it. For example, if you go for banking industry, okay, if you go for any financial markets, fintech companies, it has large number of volume. Okay, so you cannot handle it in a very easiest way. So which has a lot of time to be required for an employee to work on daily basis. Okay, that is why the automations are required in that place to do it. Okay, so any doubts so far about this macros automation?
Jay, it's clear now, but one more point to add over here, not only the time saving, but of course the 100% accuracy. And
that is what
correct?
it is exactly.
That is the main objective of, because it's assumed that machine never make a mistake. So it's 100% accuracy.
Exactly, that is what next I'm coming at. Okay, so first is 30% will be for time saving, and then next 30% of companies will do for reducing error. Okay, for a quality of report, that is more important for a company. So even though they have a sufficient manpower, okay, sufficient time, but still the people are doing a human error will be there, of course. Okay, which means they cannot control the quality of the report. Okay, and the problem is it goes to now out to external client. They will be come back with some SLA problems. Okay, service level agreement will be there, or they will put some penalty for errors, external errors. That will be again reducing our cost of invoice. So that is why they require some automations for avoiding an error. Okay, to reduce an error, 100% accuracy will be there. For that purposes, 30% of companies are now doing with automations. Okay, because to show a better accuracy, better resulting in a reporting level. Okay, this is one. The last level, which is completely either in terms of manpower reduction, okay, which is where 40 or 50 members are there, but they don't require 40, 50 members in a team. They require only 30 members is enough. If you place some automations over there, then there is no manpower required. So since it has been done from 2010, the automobile industries has laid off a lot of people from this industry, okay, from specifically in automobile industry, because of the automations, okay, where the robots are now started doing costs. Okay, this is another way, which is the rest of the companies are looking for reducing the manpower, and they're trying to save a lot of cost for that. Why? Because the cost of machine is only a little when compared to 20 or 30 people laid off. Okay, that is why they are doing with manpower reductions. But majority, what they are looking for, time saving and quality. That is most important thing. Okay, so other than manpower reductions, so you must focus on quality. That is most important thing, because the quality increase, there will be no errors are there in a report. That is, the client will be getting satisfied. Okay, that is most important thing. And now with the help of this record macro and VBA macro, what we are doing is, in Excel, first we want to bring a developer tab to use these two things. Okay, first record macro is available under view tab. Under view tab, we have a record macro option is here. So with the help of this button, we can record whatever we wanted. Okay, anything that you record, automatically it works on. Even if you do VLOOKUP, it record it. Even if you do a small calculations, it will record it. What are, if you do some appearance changing, like applying border, applying colors, applying a formatting, all those things will automatically captures, and it brings the exact value. Okay, this is what the automations will do. Okay, and about a VBA code. VBA code also, you want to write a code to interact with computers. So based on that language you want to interact it, I'll just show some example to understand it. Okay, so that how this automation will working in a code manner, that also I'll tell you. Okay, first, hope you have this developer tab. If you don't have this developer tab, first you want to activate it. Okay, do right click on the customized ribbon and go for the developer tab, which is not enabled. You want to manually enable it. Okay, if you're using lesser version, you can go for general tab, you will be getting it. Or in the customized ribbon, from 2010 onwards, we have this in customized ribbon. Go for customized ribbon, you can find the developer tab here. Just check this button and click OK. Why? Because in this developer tab, you have a Visual Basic. Okay, this is a Visual Basic application. This look like this one. This is a coding area. Okay, this is a Visual Basic application coding area, and we have projects windows here. Okay, I'll tell you now. First, we'll see about what is record macro, and then we'll go with a VBA code macros. Okay, so any doubt about what is the advantage and disadvantage of Excel automations? VBA macros? Okay, now, so to start with a recorded macro, I can do a simple thing at first, and then I'll go with a little calculation kind of thing. Okay, I have a data set. For example, I have small data set. I want to make some aligning work. Okay, I'll take some random data set here. I'll just go with this. Okay, I'm just going to take the example of this data set. I want to do a small changes here with the help of record macros. Okay, book number 1 is there. This is a macro file which I'm going to create it. I have 20 records with column number n. Okay, what I want to do, first I want to go for a either view tab to record it, or I'll go for developer tab to record it. Okay, so I have two options here. You can easily start recording it. Now I'll go for developer tab to record it. I'll go for record macro. So first it will ask you a dialog box like this. What is the name of the macro that you want to give? What is the shortcut key that you would like to do? And where this macro has been stored. Okay, there are two options are there. Either you can create through a personal workbook, personal macro workbook, or a normal workbook. Okay, there is two differences. I'll tell you what are the differences between these two. With the help of personal macro, what we can do. With the help of this workbook, what we can do it. Okay, now this workbook which I am going to give, and this is for a random testing purposes. Just for example, testing purpose which I'm going to give it. Now this 4 things I want to give. First is macro name, and then shortcut key, and then where you want to store, and what is the description. Okay, in which the 3 things are not mandatory. These all are optional. The macro name is mandatory. You want to give this macro name in a proper way. That is, it doesn't allow any spaces and all. It doesn't allow any gaps, including without a gap. You want to give a name for it. For example, first space macro. If you give that, it won't accept it because we have a space in between first and macro. You should not leave any space here like this. Okay, without a space, you want to type it first underscore macro. This is the name of the macro which I'm going to give it now. And shortcut key, you don't want to give. This is an optional one. Why? Because we already have placed all the macros with control option. Control A to select one. Control B, we have a bold. Control C, it will copy. Control D, it will downfill. From Control A to Control Z, we already have all the shortcut keys in Excel. Only one button doesn't have a shortcut key, Control J. Okay, J means there is no shortcut key in Excel. Control J will not work. Okay, so that is the only one which is missing, which if you require, you can go with Control J here directly. That is one option. Or you can use with Control Shift A, Control Shift D, Control Shift F, whatever you require, you can select it. Okay, but now I'm not giving any shortcut key. I'm directly going to record it. Okay, first macro name has been given, and then this workbook which has given, and then testing purpose which I have done. And now when I click OK, now the macro is getting started. You can see the stop button, start recording, it shows. And again, when you go for view tab, you can see in the view tab, we have a stop recording is there. Okay, which means the macro has been already started. Now, what are the activity which I do? Everything will be captured. For example, I'm going to do simple activity now, just appearance related macros to understand it in a very easiest manner. Okay, first record macros. I'll just go and select the entire data set as of now. 20 records are there. So I'm just going to select the 20 data sets now, 20 records now. Okay, and after selecting this, I'll go for home tab. I'm just trying to change the font name this year with Tohoma. Okay, the name has been changed. Name has been changed. Okay, and then I'm going to do the format with auto fit column. Okay, which is auto fit. Okay, now it will automatically fit with the column width. That has been done. And then I'm going to reduce the size with 11. Okay, the size will be in, even if you go, I'll go for 10 size. So 10 in size. And then I'm going to make a small fourth step as small color to be included this part. Okay, I'm going with small yellow color to be uploaded. And then at last, fifth step, which I'm going to make all border. Okay, so far what I have done, 5 activity which I have done. One is I selected the entire data set, and then I changed the font name, I changed the font size, and then I applied a color, and then I applied a border. This is the 5 things which I have done. Okay, if it is like this, all the activities are very regular one. These are the activities which I have done very regularly. Then you can record it in this way, and then you can have a stop button under status bar also. Okay, or you can go for view and just do stop recording. Okay, now what are the activities I have done? All the activities are now captured, recorded. All those things are converted into a code by its own. Okay, Vba Code by its own, where you can see that. Just go for view macro, and you can see the first macro which is available here. This is one we have created. This is one we have created now. Okay, and now how to run this one and how to edit this one, and what is the input you need to be changed. Okay, now what I'll do first, I'll run it again. I'll just going to delete this one. Okay, or I'm just going to make a appearance to be changed. Okay, I'll just delete it. I'll delete it. I'm just going to copy this again. I'll paste it again. Okay, now this is my input. My input is in, again, it is in Times New Roman with 12 font, no color, no border. Okay, next today, I'm just copied my input and I paste it down. But I want my output in a way what I have done previously. So I'll go for view tab. I'm just going to use this same view macro, the first macro. When I run it, you can see exactly within 1 second it has been appeared with my new result. Okay, within 1 second it has converted my data into a appearance what I have recorded. Okay, how does it happen? Because with the help of code. Okay, so as same like, you don't want to waste much time. For example, 15 minutes you are taking to do an appearance thing, just making colors, borders, and you are deleting some columns, and you are just doing a header part, and then you are making some calculations. All those things are now recorded with the help of record macro. For this record macro, no coding knowledge is required. Anyone can record it. If you do any simple calculation also, it will work. Okay, only problem is what the number that we have recorded. 20 rows that we have recorded, which means only 20 record it will work. more than 20 it won't do. Okay, now how does it appear? How does it work? And how the code will be appear? Just go for view screen, and in the record macro, first macro, we can edit it. Okay, right? So far, any doubt what we have seen about a macro? Okay, now let's go for first macro, and I'm going to edit it here. Okay, I'm just going to edit it. Okay, just click on the edit button, and now you can see the macro what we have recorded. Okay, it's look like this one. So this is a complete code which has already converted into a Visual Basic application by its own. Okay, now what we have done? We have done only 5 simple steps, very simple, just coloring, and then we are doing with a border. Okay, for that alone, it may take almost 20 plus lines. Okay, that is the one biggest disadvantage in record macro. What record macro will do, it will automatically record all the steps, whatever you do. That will be converted into a macro, but it brings a lot of number of lines in code. It brings more than 200 lines, 300 lines, something like that. You want to manually check it. But in case if you want to edit, now you can see the font has been changed as first with 11, and then we have changed that with 10. So even that also will be captured. And what is the name of the font has been changed to Homa, even that also it works. In case if you want to edit anything, you can come this background area, code area, here also you can edit it. Okay, after recording also, if you want, you can edit. Okay, and this is what the border which I have applied for the range what we have selected. Okay, so this is one completely captured by VBA record macro. This is a simple activity what we have done that has been recorded. Okay, now next, how to save this file? This is most important thing. Why? Because in Excel, we want to save this macro files are in a different manner. Okay, we don't want to save like a normal Excel file. If you save that way, your output will be saved, but your code will not be saved. Okay, you want to make sure the code also saved in the same file. Okay, first I'll go for file. I want to save this option, save as, and I'll go for a folder. I'll go for folder. I want to use, instead of this Excel workbook type, I want to use that as a macro enabled workbook. Macro enabled workbook. This is what the file name that you want to give, type of the file. Okay, and file name which I'm going to give first underscore macro. Okay, now this is done. So the file has been saved in Visual Basic application. For example, how does it look? It look like this one. Okay, macro enabled workbook. Okay, you want to save this file in this manner to properly maintain your codes. Unless your output will come, but your code will not come. So make sure you want to save all the file in the macro enabled workbook. So this is like a template kind of thing. So next day, if you want to do the same activity, what you want to do? You want to open this file at first. Okay, just go to the folder where you have saved, open the file at first. When you open it, now you can see, I'll just try to open it now. Okay, now file getting opened, and before to that you have a security warning here. Okay, security warning is a must one. Why? Because you want to enable this content by default. Okay, by manually we want to do it because all the macros are already disabled. By default it has been disabled. Why? Which I'll tell you now. Why the security warning which is showing here? Because of our setting only. Okay, because of our setting. Okay, we have done a setting at first. In first class, we have seen about all the settings here. Okay, in which last one, trust center. In trust center, again, when you go for trust center setting, we have a macro setting here. This is one, disable all macros with notification. This is what our default setting in Excel. That is why whenever the macros open, it shows with a small notification here. Okay, so because you don't want to activate, you don't want to enable it here. If you enable this macro, it has a potential dangerous to run a code. Okay, that is why you are not allowed to enable it for all the macros. By default, it comes with a notification. Okay, for all the macro file that you have opened it. Okay, first thing you want to enable it. Okay, just go for enable this file. I'll go to the sheet and I'm going to enable it. Okay, until you know the file. Okay, you can give it enable unless you don't give it, because this is very problematic thing. There are a lot of codes are available in online. You can directly download from online also, direct file also. But problem is they won't show you the code what is available. Okay, without knowing the macros, don't run it. The first thing, you want to get approval from your high-level management. Second thing, validating, checking the macro, which is very important. You want to do a test at first in a normal one, okay, in a testing area. If you directly implement that in a production area, there is a problem by stealing your information, looting your information very easily. Okay, all the online codes has some potential dangerous will be there, threat will be there. Why? Because without knowing you, all the files what you are working, the informations can be gathered, copied, and sent to someone in a very easiest way with the help of coding itself. Okay, so make sure don't use any macro file from online directly unless you know about it. Okay, make sure also get an approval from a management, which is very important to run a macros. Okay, because that has a potential dangerous for your informations, data in your company, sensitive informations are there. That's why. Okay, now. So the next activity, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the same thing in a personal macro kind of a thing, personal macro. So what is the difference between this personal macro and the workbook will be there? Workbook template will be there. This workbook template will save like a file, macro enabled file. Every time you want to open this file and you want to run it. Now, if you want to run it, just change this data set. Again, you want to run it. Okay, you want to change the input, the output will come. Okay, next day again you are opening and apply the input and then output will be received. So such a way you want to use this file like a template kind of one. You want to manually go and open the file and you want to change the input and you want to get an output on daily basis. But what personal macro will do? The personal macro will work like a button. Okay, you can add a tab. In this tab, I'm going to add the same activity, okay, as a button. Okay, just see how I'm going to do it. Okay, first I'll go for a sheet number 3. Sheet number 3, I'm just going to take a same example. Take a same 20 files now, 20 records now. Okay, the same 20 records, which I'm going to record it through a personal macro. Okay, see here how I'm going to do. Same steps. Go for record developer tab and record macro. Fine. So far, any doubts you have?
Hi Jay, Kanchan here.
Yeah, please.
There is a doubt falling out in my mind. If suppose this macro enable file is shared to the XYZ person, will that person be able to see the codes that we had applied?
Yes.
So if ever I had made the codes, or say I have run the macro for first time, will that person be able to see the codes that was applied from my end?
Exactly. It will be shown, and you have a protection also. If you want to protect the code, then you can apply a password to protect it.
Can you show me that, please?
Yeah, I'll show you. Okay, that will be available in a Visual Basic application screen. First, you want to go for a VBA screen. Okay, I'll go for a developer tab. Under developer tab, Visual Basic application. This is a programming code. Okay, if I share this file to anyone, they can easily see this code. Okay, because it has not protected it. So now I want to protect it. How to protect it? All macros are stored in modules. Now this is module number 1. In this module number 1 only, the macros are stored. Okay, I want to go for tools with options. Tools with options. Okay, here you can go with editor formats, general options, dogging, and an editor will be there. Here you want to check it first. Okay, all this is a manual check, like a optional default settings will be there. Default settings will be there. From here, you want to check it first. Either it has this auto syntax checks, auto list members, auto quick info. All these are checked or not. This is one way. First thing, you want to do this small check here. Okay, and then you want to go for protecting the sheet here. Okay, I'll tell you now. Okay, with the help of tools, after checking all this information, go for reference. Let's see it. How does it work? Okay, it has references with Microsoft Object. It is there. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, so VBA Project Properties are there. This is separately as a protection tab and general tab. Okay, first VBA projects will be saved as a macro enabled sheet. This code has been saved as a template file. Okay, that is a template file. We already saved it in a macro enabled workbook. After saving that, you can go for a protection, log project for viewing. This option will be there. Just check this button. Okay, it is available under tools, with Vba Project Operation. Okay, properties. Okay, before to that, you want to do a small check. Okay, you want to check with options and make sure this auto syntax checks and other things are checked there. But default, most of the files are auto checked only. Okay, it won't be any changes in your thing. Okay, that is why you can directly go for project properties window, and under protection, you want to go for project to be logged and you want to give a password here. Again, as I said earlier in the same Excel sheet, we have seen Excel protection. The problem is this is offline software. If you apply password and if you forget means even you cannot open it. You cannot trying to get your codes on time. Okay, and it has been completely logged. You want to rewrite a code again. Okay, that is the only one disadvantage we have. So make sure what is the project that you are doing. If you are applying password, make a note of it. Unless you cannot get your codes by your own. Okay, so now I'm going to give some random password. Okay, like VBA. Okay, VBA underscore 2021. Just for example, I'm just giving it VBA underscore 2021. Okay, I'm just going to log this one project. Now the project has been logged and I'm going to save this one. And it is saved and I'll close it. Okay, even the first macro file, I'll save this and I'll close it. Now, if I send this file to someone, it is password protected. Okay, the first macro file which has been opened now. And now the file is opened. I'll go for developer tab and I'm going to Visual Basic screen. Okay, now the module is there. There are a lot of modules are there. I want to check where the module is. Okay, first I want to check the file. Personal file is there. The first macro file is there. You can see now it is asking a password. Unless you know the password, you cannot open it. Okay, this is one way of protecting your passwords. Okay, protecting your codes. But you can go with this option. It will be available with macro enable file. Okay, this is again the files which I have already. That is why second time it works on. But if you do for the project window, it exactly asking you the passwords here. Okay, so this is what you want to apply a password for protecting your codes, and then you want to share it. Unless everyone can see it, everyone can see it, everyone can edit it. Okay, but when you are doing record macro, if you are protecting the file, then there is no use at all. Why? Because the record macro will capture only till the 20 records what we have recorded. If you want to extend this range, you can go for a code and you can extend it. But if you log that code, you cannot do any edits. So since it will work only for the 20 records. If you're going for a Vba code kind of thing, then the protection is very important. And also the protected view will save the codes. But in the record macro, it doesn't require to protect it. Why? Because the file may vary at any time. Tomorrow it will come with 25 records means, again you want to go for a code and you can change the area what you require, or else you want to redo it. That is the purpose of using protections here. Right? So any doubts so far about protections?
Jay, what I understand from this macros is using this VB languages, we can just to make our work easy because it's a repetitive work. Okay.
Yeah.
So in order to make our work easy, since it's a repetitive in nature, we are using this VB code and make it easy. But if you're sharing to somebody, it won't be feasible, right?
Yeah.
So that is just for your, to reduce your manual work and efforts. Using this only for your purpose only means you will be using this VB, but for sharing purpose, you won't be using this.
No, sharing also we can give it. But what I'm saying is, if you try to lock a code, people, most of the people doesn't know how to edit a code and what are the codes they have used. That is only few people only know about it. If you are feeling that your team is secure, don't want to delete means you can, without locking, you can share it. You can share the file.
Yeah, within organization it's okay, but outside organization would be difficult.
Yes, exactly. That for that you can lock your code and you can share it, because you don't want to show any source code. What is the codes that you have used for this activity and all? You don't want to show it.
Correct.
Okay, so that is what. And now, as I said, the personal macros are there. Personal macro means we can add like a button. Right now, what we have done, we have opened a file called macro, first macro, and we have included our input, and then we run the macro, what we have recorded. This is like a template kind of thing. But now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add like a button directly. Okay, so first I'll go for a day 3 file, and I'll just open a new workbook and I'm going to paste it here. This is called a book number 2 now. Book number 2 now. What personal macro will do, it will add like a button. Okay, so first I'll record it. How to record? Just go for a view tab. In the view tab, you want to select record macro. Okay, record macro. This is my second macro. So I'm going to give second underscore macro. This is the name which I'm going to give. And then instead of this workbook, I'm going to change that as a personal macro workbook. Okay, I want to see that as a personal macro workbook. So what this personal macro workbook will do, it will work in all the sheets. Even if you open a new workbook, the macro will be stored in the new workbook. Okay, that is the advantage of using macro. You don't want to open a specific template and then you want to run it. Instead of that, you can run this macro in any Excel workbook. Even if you open any new workbook, it works on. Okay, so now this is personal macro. So I'll just go and give some personal macros. Okay, and then I'm just going to click OK and I'm started. Now the macro has been started. I want to start recording what I require. Just go for entire column to be selected. Okay, entire column to be selected. Okay, under view tab, you can see still stop recording is there, which means the macro is already started. Okay, so I've selected the entire thing and I'll go for home tab. I'm just going to change the name again. Okay, with some other a font name which I'm going to give it. And the size of this is, I'm going to make 9. Okay, and then I'm going to make that with some blue color. And then I'm going to make with border. I'm going to change a font with white color. Okay, just for example, I've changed that with the white color and everything is done. I'll just go for a view tab and I'm just going to stop this macro. And the macro has been now stopped. So what are the same 5 steps which I have done now that has been recorded under personal macro workbook? Okay, now how does it work? Let's see. First, I'll delete all the inputs. I'll just copy the input and I'll paste it again. Okay, I'll paste it again. And now this macro is available under my view macro. We have a personal macro, second macro shows. Okay, personal.xlsb and second macro will be. Okay, so it will not show only the name, it shows along with personal.xlsb. When I run now, you can see exactly within a second, it appeared the same results. Okay, now what I can do, I can store this personal macro into a button kind of a thing. Okay, which means that will work in all the Excel file, whatever I require. Okay, now the macro is what I've recorded, which I'm going to add like a button. How it is, create one new tab here, and you want to add a macro to that part. I'll go for customize the ribbon. This is the J is the tab which I have already added in the customized one. It has already first group. I'm going to add one more new group here. New group. The name of that new group is, I'm going to keep as my macros. And I'm going to give some icon for that. Okay, now the new tab has been created. I want to add a button to that. Okay, what button to be added? I stored all my macros in macro buttons. All personal macros will be stored in this macro option. When I click this macros, you can see there are so many other macros are there. In which color appearance? That is one which I have created earlier. Okay, that is my old macro, which I am doing it. But now we have recorded with second macro. See, the second macro is available here. Personal.xlsb, second macro is available. I am going to add that second macro in my new tab here, in my customized new tab here. Okay, and you can see now this button is there. Okay, you can make some different designs also if you require. Okay, I'll just do rename. Okay, I'm going to change the icon of that macro. I'm going to change some icon like the pie table. Okay, pie chart, and I'm going to change this as a new name. My appearance macro. This is the name of the macro which I have created now. Okay, I'm going to give the name will be different. When I click OK, now you can see the new tab comes here with my macros, and this is the macro which has happened. So now what are the activity we have recorded? All those things comes like a button directly. Okay, now very simple. I'll go for input. I'll go for take my input and I'll paste it here. Okay, I don't want to run it in the under view tab. Instead of that, I can just go and click this my app macro. When I click here, now you can see exactly it brings the result. And the advantage of using personal macro, this will be available in any sheet. Even if book number 3 I opened, I can have the same button which is already loaded. So this really comes like a ribbon tab buttons. So the advantage is you can add n number of macros like this. You can add it over here. Okay, like VLOOKUP macro, my pivot table macro, my alignment macro, something like that. You can add anything required. For example, VLOOKUP, if you want to done, you can apply that VLOOKUP into a personal macro. For example, how I am going to do it. Let's see. I'm going to record a personal macro again for VLOOKUP. From next time onwards, you don't want to do VLOOKUP. Just go and click this button, automatically VLOOKUP will done. Okay, now, just for example, I'm going to create some student name, student number I am going to create it, and then the marks I am going to create it. Okay, you can make different columns or different data set, whatever you required, you can do it. Okay, here I'm going to do only student number and marks. Based on that, I'm going to do it. And most probably in the record macro, try to do it in the same sheet. Don't go for separate sheets or don't bring some different external links here, because record macro has some limitations. It won't do in a exact manner. Okay, that is what. Now I'll go for some random values here. Students number 1, student number 2, something like that. I'm going to give it. Student number 1, student number 2, and so on. Okay, I'm just going to drag it here. I'm just going to drag it till 307. Okay, and I'm going to add a random marks here between 10 marks to 100 marks. Okay, now it is done. And next, what I required, I'm going to find a student number here. I'm going to find a student number, few random student numbers I required now. For example, student number 1 I want to get. Okay, and then student number 7 I want to get. Okay, and then I'm going to bring a random student numbers here. Okay, so 25, 67, 85. Okay, only for these students numbers, I'm going to find a student marks. So now my objective is I want to record a VLOOKUP only. For that, only 2 fields which I have recorded so far. Just for example, I'm doing it. Okay, so what are the A column? If you put customer ID in A column, you want to fill the a customer ID in F column alone. If you put the customer amount in marks, then you can get amount in the G again. And one VLOOKUP only will work because of example I'm doing with only one. If you want, you can do multiple VLOOKUPs here. Okay, now first I start recording it now. So far, any doubts about our data set? About the personal macro, any doubts are there? Okay, now we go with the second personal macro which we are going to record it. Okay, first view record macro, and this is my VLOOKUP. Name of the macro is VLOOKUP. That should be saved in my personal macro. Okay, don't use that with workbook, which means in that only alone it will work. Okay, personal macro workbook, and then you want to give descriptions. In the descriptions, what you require, you can go with a random value. Okay, random descriptions you require, like VLOOKUP personal. Okay, click OK now, and the macro has been started. I'm going to do a simple VLOOKUP without selecting any range. Directly by selecting entire column, I'm going to do it. Okay, that is what the advantage, because if you select range, then only until that it will work. Okay, it won't work for rest of the things, but problem is there, but I'll tell you. Equal to VLOOKUP, I'm going to select the first one, comma, the entire range I've selected, and comma 2, 0, because I'm going to bring my second column. Okay, and then it works till this range. It works till this range, and I'm going to make page special value. That's it. Now everything is done. I'm just going to stop it. Stop the macro. Now the record macro has saved my VLOOKUP. What are the column A, column B value consist of? It will be appeared in my column G for these customer ID, which will work. But as I said, unfortunately, in record macro, it will record only up to this area. If you put some other value in another field, 17th row, it won't record. It won't capture my marks here. The VLOOKUP will not work. Okay, that is the only one disadvantage we have it. Okay, but now if you are having recorded with 5,000 records at first itself, then your volume will work on. Now I'll go for adding a new button again. J, I'm going to add one more button here. Do right click, customize ribbon. Okay, and I'll go for my macro, my macros, and then in this group, I'm going to add one more personal macro that is available in my macros, in which I want to select a VLOOKUP macro. So personal.VLOOKUP is there. I'll just go for it, adding it, and I'm going to rename it. Okay, the VLOOKUP will with smiley button, and I'm going to make that with VLOOKUP. Okay, and then now VLOOKUP has been added. I'll go for OK. Now the VLOOKUP also works. Now very simple. If I want to VLOOKUP next time, I can apply this fill. I want to know this is the method I want to fill it. I want to put column A, column B, and then student number and student number marks. Only this I want to do. Okay. For that, when I go and click this VLOOKUP, exactly it works on. Okay. So next time onwards, I don't want to do VLOOKUP. I can just go and select it here with the button. Automatically it works. Even if I change anything, for example, instead of this customer name, I'll just take a customer ID. For here, I have a customer IDs are there. Okay, I'll take a random customer ID. So up to 300 or something like a few customer ID which I've taken now. Okay, I'll just put the customer ID from this list, and I'll go for customer amount randomly. Okay, this is what the random amount. Instead of marks, I'm going to make that as amount here. Okay, now for these customer ID, in this customer ID, I'm going to make some random customer IDs are there. I'll randomly pick some customer IDs here. Okay, I'll take a random customer IDs and I'll update it here. Okay, only this area, up to this area, it will work. Now for these customer IDs, I want to find a marks. For these customer IDs, I want to find amount. Okay, amount. When I do this VLOOKUP button, automatically it will go and check this value and it brings a result. See, it exactly brings the result. Okay, this is what the advantage of using the VLOOKUP. Next time onwards, I don't want to apply VLOOKUP. When I click this button, automatically it works. Right? So any doubts so far about it?
Jay,
yeah, please.
So you can do this, whatever your task or activity, you can customize with the help of macros, right?
Exactly.
But
exactly.
one drawback or the disadvantage, as you said, that it will record only till 20 records, right?
Exactly.
So don't you feel if the data is too large and doing a VLOOKUP will help us this? Or whatever the customizations you have did it is going to help us?
Yeah, for example, how this can be overwritten. Now for 20 up to 20 records, it will be doing a VLOOKUP by its own. In case, if you want multiple records, you can just check your last 6 months data, okay, or 6 months volume. Just take the average volume of last 6 months. For example, your highest volume in this last 6 months, which is 5,000, which means while doing VLOOKUP itself, you can start recording with 5,000 records. While recording itself, you can keep 5,000 records and do record it. In case next time it will comes with 1,000 also, it will give result. If it is 4,000 also, it will give result. It will go not behind to 10,000. Maybe you can do VLOOKUP with 5,000 records, 50,000 records, something like that. Then even the data set comes with very low volume, automatically it works on. There is no issue in your data records.
Okay.
That is the only way to overcome. Or else we want to definitely use with Vba codes. Vba codes are, as I said, little tough one. Okay, just I'll show some example here to understand it. I'll go for a file at first. Day 3, I'll just close it. Okay, now this is my student number and B will be the amount. Which which I'll go for a Visual Basic application. I want to write a code now. Okay, so I want to write a code now. I'll just go for a code now first, easily. Go to Insert tab at first. You want to create a module, very important. You want to write a code with the macros here. Okay, so all macros are in a module number 1 or module number 2. Everything to be written in a module. Go for Insert and create module number 2. Okay, 1 minute. It has some problem, I guess. I'll just close it. Okay, I'll just close this file and I'll open a new file now. Okay, so this is my information. Okay, just for example, I'll type a few numbers here randomly. And now I'll go for Alt F11 and see how does it work. So book number 4 is there. I think book number 4, we want to close it. Book number 4 is there, right? Okay, book number 4. I'll go for book number 4 now, which is recently opened, which has some data set here. In book number 4, I'll go for Insert and create a module now. So the module number 1 has been created. I want to start writing a code in this way. Okay, for example, Vba Code, as I said earlier, you want to learn as a must one. Okay, you want to learn all the coding and then you want to start writing it. Okay, so the procedure of writing Vba Code, you start from sub here, which is called a subroutine. You want to give a macro name in this procedure. Okay, the macro name is testing. Just for example, I'm going to give a macro name called testing here. Okay, so when you do open bracket, open parenthesis and close parenthesis and hit enter, automatically it gives the end sub. So this is a subroutine. In between this area only we want to write a code. Okay, so make sure always the macro name to be started with sub. If you do that only, the macro name will be visible in your macros. Okay, if you go for view macros, testing will be view now. Okay, in case if you are not giving the subroutine, without doing that, directly typing testing means it won't appear. So make sure this is a procedure you want to write a code now. Okay, so first giving a macro name with subroutine and then macro name, open parenthesis and close parenthesis and then insert. This is what you want to do with it. Okay, and next you want to start writing a code. How to select a range. Each and every activity in Excel can be automated with the help of Vba Code. Each and every one has a different nature. For example, in under home tab, if you want to do a spell check, if you want to do a font change, if you want to do a font number size to be changed, or if you want to make a cell color, if you want to apply a border, everything has a different code. All these are simple one-liner code. For example, range, double quotes. Okay, I want to select B5 cell now. So B5 double quotes dot select. So this is the way that you want to write a code. This is by learning only you come to know. Okay, right now my cursor is in A5, but what I have advised in my code, I want to ask advice to select with B5. This is what my code will work. Now my instruction is to this computer is range B5.select, which I said. When I run this macro, now you can see it exactly selected my B5. Okay, now if I want to do multiple select, for example, B5 to C15, you want to select B5 to C15. This is the way of writing a code. Now, when I run this macro, it exactly from B5 to C15 it will do it. Okay, so now this code will do automatically go and select all the activities, do all the activities in a very quick manner. In case if you have underline also, it will run in a 1 second. That is the advantage of using VBA macros. So specialty is it reduces a lot of time. 1 hour the manual work could take, but with the help of macro, it will take only 1 to 2 seconds. That is the highest advantage of making a time reduction. That is why we are using automations. Okay, now next, instead of this, I'll go for another code now. Range, I want to select from A1 to the till last record. From A1 to the last record, I think we have last record in 24th column. Okay, which is in O column, 24th record. So O24. Okay, so from A1 to O24, double quotes, dot, okay, double quotes, dot, select. Okay, which means now it will select the entire record. Okay, it will select the entire record now. So after selecting, I'm just going for changing some colors. Range A1 dot 024 dot font dot name. Okay, which is equal to Times New Roman. Now, what I have advised, I want to advise to change my font name to Times New Roman. Okay, this is what I have done now. So this line will help me to change my font name to Times New Roman. When I run this macro, okay, 1 minute, the spell check is there.
Yeah, range spelling.
Yeah, I'll just change it. Okay, now you can see when I run this macro, exactly, it will convert all my date into my font into a Times New Roman. So as same like you have multiple codes for each and every activity, for adding a sheet, for deleting a sheet, for adding a new column, for deleting a new column, everything has a code that you want to maintain it. Okay, range A1 dot O24 dot interior, which means cell color in this language. Okay, in this language, cell color means interior color. Okay, interior dot color, which is equal to Visual Basic green. So now I have advised to make my entire range into a VB green color. Okay, when I run this macro, you can see exactly that will convert into a green color. So as I said, you want to learn this coding one by one for all the small activities, like how to make cell color, how to make sheets to be added, how to delete a column, how to add a column, how to delete a row, and then how to work with ranges. All those things will be there. Okay, maybe I have a separate training material for this VBA code, because this is a separate program which I'm taking almost 20 plus hours only for writing a codes. Okay, that will be a training material which I can share with you. Okay, you can probably try to check and add some codes in this. And that training material, it has a lot of codes and to do how to start a macro, how to write a macro in a very basic level. That will be help you for you to do it. Okay, so any doubts so far what we have seen today? Okay, so I think we have now time for a post-assessment and feedbacks now. So post-assessment, maybe a process link will be there. Again, the Google form link will be there. I can try sharing the link with Lakshmi. She will be sharing with you. You can try probably answering all the questions, and feedbacks also will be there. Okay, and most thing now, the feedback link, which I'm going to paste it in my chat box. Please do a feedback now itself. And also the 7 days what we have learned, all the files and the recorded videos which I already shared. Maybe I'm going to share you the playlist again in the chat box now. See, this playlist has my complete recorded videos are available. You can just go and see the videos in this link, in the YouTube link. Okay, so forms will be there. This is a feedback form which I'm going to share you in the chat box again. So other files and the samples, training materials, which is already shared to Lakshmi. She'll be sharing with you in an email by today. Okay, so in case if you have any doubts, I have given my email ID. Please do reach my email ID. I can try to help you on what is the doubt that I can be cleared it. Okay, and about the 7 days learning, how do you feel now? Have you learned anything newly? Okay, fine. So now the feedback link will be given to you in the chat box. Please try filling all this feedback in the call itself. So we'll be disconnecting at 10 o'clock.
Jay, there is one doubt with respect to
please.
macros.
Please.
Will this macro work in other, Microsoft Office, say for example, in Word?
Yeah, in Word also it will work.
Okay.
Okay, I have now pasted my Google Forms link. Please try to fill the feedback form in another 10 minutes. So once you are completed the feedback form, please let me know. I'll inform Lakshmi to collect the responses.
We have to use the company email ID, right?
Maybe if you so, you can do it. I'm not sure what is the form it is. It was created by Lakshmi, I guess. I think so. The email ID is a mandatory field. Maybe you can give your company email ID, I think. I'm just pasting the feedback link again. I'm just pasting my email ID also, my personal Gmail account. So please write if you have any doubts in this part. Thank you so much about the feedback. So hope you understand about Excel now little from day 1 to day 7 what we have seen. So please do practice. That is most important thing. Okay, so be in touch and try to implement all the tricks and learning what we have done here to your workstation. Also try to teach someone so that you can never forget anything. Okay, I think so. People hope you have completed the feedback form. If you have any doubts, please let me know. If not, we can wind up our sessions. Or if you want to give any feedback, you can provide here also, not a problem. Yeah, post assessment. Okay, friends, and hope you have completed all the feedback forms, right? If you are completed, we can wind up a day.
Yes, Jay. Thank you so much for your
Yeah.
time and the energy which you have shown us to us during this training period. Really appreciate it. And it was really interesting session. You made it so.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much and have a nice day too, Jay. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah, bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.
Just 2 minutes later.